name is Bruce Ratcliffe. I'm the inventor of MathMagic blocks. And I'd like to tell you why I'm selling them. It's not about the money. I mean, think about it. I've got no wife, which means no alimony. I've got no kids, which means no college tuition, no student loan debt. I'm at the top of my district salary schedule. I've been teaching for 40 years and hoping for 20 more. It's a job like no other. I get 50 miles a gallon in my 1991 Nissan Sentra, but that's in-town mileage. And I rarely drive it because I go everywhere around town by bicycle, including riding to and from work every day. I live in a 90-year-old house, which I own free and clear, and it's highly energy inefficient. It dips down into the 20s sometimes at night in the area of the nation that I live. And that means that it gets real cold. In January, my heating bill is $5 a month. So I live very frugally, and I'm making lots of money. So do the math. I don't need the money. What I do need is to see a change in the way math is taught in this country, because I've seen a shift in the last 40 years. We've become so focused on test results and on getting students to pass the test and then clear the memory bank so we can go on to the next topic. I found that students are, well, there's a math crisis, I would call it, because students don't understand math and their knowledge is not working knowledge, it's test passing knowledge. But as far as having a toolkit which they can pull out and do simple problems, they don't have it. And that bothers me. So MathMagic Blocks is a way for students to have at least one lesson that's fun, that's challenging, that they want to learn, that they want to play with, and at the same time as they're playing, they're learning important skills and laying a foundation that will allow higher levels of mathematics to be understood in a way that is not just learned and lost. No, MathMagic Blocks is about lasting learning. Though MathMagic Blocks is pretty slick right now, and though I spent a lot of time making an attractive, durable product, they weren't always like that. This is the original MathMagic Blocks. In fact, this guy here is made from a product called Busy Blocks by the Tupperware Corporation. I bought these at a thrift store back in the 80s. And one night I just came up with the idea for MathMagic Blocks. And I realized that if I had these little blocks, and these guys can be opened, and inside I put some lead shot, more lead shot in the heavy ones than in the light ones. Of course, I don't use lead shot anymore. But anyways, I discovered that it would be possible to make MathMagic Blocks work the way they do. And that was how it all started. But they sat on the shelf for maybe, well, since 1982, they sat on the shelf for at least a couple of decades. And I did nothing with them. Before I go on further, I'd like to tell you before I explain why I was inspired to make MathMagic Blocks, I'd like to do a little cyber sleight of hand with you. So, I've got an envelope here, and I've got a blank card in it. I'm going to write something on this card, but I'm not going to let you see what it is that I'm writing. It's a number, and this number is one which you really won't know because I'm folding it in half, and now I'm putting it in this envelope, and I'm sealing the envelope and putting it right here for safe storage. So, if you'll join me here, I'd like you to pick a number between 5 and 10. Got it? Okay. Multiply by 9. Now you're going to have a 2-digit number. So take those 2 digits and add them together. So if you had 14, 1 plus 4 equals 5. Okay, now take that number and take the square root of it, and then add 30 to it. Got that? And after you've added 30 to it, I'd like you to take away 5. And now I'm just feeling the vibes here. Yes, I think I know what number you have. In fact, if we open up the envelope, we'll see that your number is perfectly obvious. Your number is as it must be. Now, the reason that's a perfectly obvious number is because it is a perfect number. Perfect numbers mathematically are defined as follows. If you take the numbers that are all factors of 28, well, let's take a simple example. The factors of 6, 1 and 2 and 3. Well, 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. And 1 times 2 times 3 also equals 6. 6 is a perfect number. And the next perfect number is, you can guess, 1 and 2 and 4 and 7 and 14 add up to 28. And 1 times 2 times 4 times 7 adds up to 28. So of course I had to choose that number. Now the reason I'm telling you this is math is beautiful. The number trick I showed you a minute ago has an interesting history. When I was in 3rd grade, my mom went to go for her, parent conference, as all parents went in those days. And Mrs. Bloom said she was worried about Bruce because sometimes I see him, he's out there, he just wanders around the recess playground and he's not playing with the other children. Well, of course, this was of concern to my mother because I wasn't being socialized. I was a loner. And then one night around the dinner table, I sprung this mathematical trick on everybody, and they were impressed. And my mom said, "Bruce, where did you learn that trick?" And I said, "Oh, I made it up." "Well, when did you make it up?" "Well, at recess. See, I just walk around thinking about things." So for me, math has always been beautiful and fun. It's recreation. There used to be a program, used to be a column in Scientific American by Martin Gardner called Mathematical Recreations. And I would read that every month. It's just plain fun. But I don't think many of our students these days see math as being fun. And perhaps in some ways that's because there are some necessary things that must be learned, like times tables and addition and whatnot. Not so. Math-Magic Blocks makes the learning of even these really fundamental concepts fun. And my experience is that students have a hard time putting down Math-Magic Blocks. In fact, I gave a set to a friend of mine, and after the kids had played with them for a week, this kid wrote a Dear Santa letter which said, "Dear Santa, for Christmas I'd like a tablet and a set of Math-Magic Blocks."